Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Moon Outdoors. Today I'm going to be answering your questions that you asked a couple weeks ago. I have a lot of questions. I got about 8 pages of questions, a lot of it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to answer all of them today because the video is going to be way too long and way too boring. So I'm going to answer a few questions and I'm going to answer more questions in the future. And some of the questions actually require me to make a video out of it, so stay tuned for those as well. So we just finished Wild West Kayak series last weekend. That's why I wasn't on the water fishing. We had a lot of challenges and struggles just because of the pandemic, but we got through it. And I congrats to all 50 anglers who made it to the TOC, Tournament of the Champions up in Clear Lake, and congrats to all the winners. So let's get into the questions. Elliot asked, can I please have your reel? Maybe, it depends, maybe. Derek asked, do you plan on fishing anywhere other than Cali? We have some good fishing up here in Washington State too. What do you do for a living? Tight lines, Mumu. Love your content. Derek, I would love to fish the Washington State and also Oregon as well, and pretty much all over the United States. Different states have different species. For example, if you go to Florida, you got redfish, you got speckled trout, snook, all the species that we don't have in California. So I would love to travel all over and fish. However, I got a full-time job and I have a family that I have to support. So unfortunately for right now, traveling is pretty tough for me. But sometime in the future, I would love to travel and fish for different species in different areas. And I know you guys have a really great fisheries up there. Avery asked, I like fishing the Sac River and I like going out in the bays. What kayak would you recommend within a $3,000 budget? Short answer is Outback, Native, Slayer Max, Old Town, Topwater. There are many kayaks out there. Your budget $3,000 will pretty much cover a lot of kayaks. However, a lot of people ask me what kind of kayak do I recommend. It actually depends on your weight, your height, how you would transport the type of water. Every you kind of narrow it down to Sac River and the bays, but it all depends on what you are really looking for in a kayak. So I'm actually going to make a video on how to pick a perfect kayak. As you know, I love my Revolution 13, but Revolution 13 is not going to be a perfect kayak for somebody who weighs more than 250 pounds, who wants to stand up on the kayak, etc. So I'm going to try to narrow it down on what kind of kayak you guys should get in the near future. So stay tuned. Brayden said, are you going to fish Monterey anytime? I have fished Monterey a few times and I would like to go there in the near future as well. I actually really enjoy Monterey. However, it's a little further drive for me, so I don't get to go there very often, but yes. Oh, I forgot. Derek also asked, what do you look for a living? And there's another person who asked me that too. I think it was Bob. Yeah, Bob. Some of you might know I'm an EMT, emergency medical technician, so I work on the ambulance and full time, and I've been doing it for the last 20 years, and I really enjoy it, and sometimes I really hate it too. It's an interesting occupation. For the most part, I like helping people. So Elliot also asked, have you ever gone fishing for albacore tuna? No, I have not. I want to. So hopefully I get to sometime in the near future with fishing 24/7. Wink wink. New Star asked, you spend a lot of time behind the wheel driving to fishing spots. What's your go-to entertainment while driving? I love podcasts. My favorites are Armchair Expert and 99 Cents Invisible. Yes, I do enjoy podcasts, mostly news podcasts. I don't have TV at home. Well, I have TV. I don't have satellite or cable. So most of the news that I get is from news shows, whether it's on YouTube, podcast, or on the website. Most of the time, I listen to news podcasts while I'm driving. Okay, fishing 24/7 asks, when did you start fishing and why? And the other person also asked, who was it? Northwest Open Season also asked, how did you get into kayak fishing and why? How long did it take you before you were comfortable out in the ocean? So I got started fishing when I was, I think, middle school with my grandpa. My grandpa is an avid fisherman. He pretty much fished every single day. He will have 2 rods, backpack, and a bucket, and he will get on a bus, and then he will go to his fishing spot. And I fished with him a lot, all over the Bay Area, surf fishing Pacifica, Half Moon Bay, traveling up to Sacramento area as well, Delta. My grandpa actually got me started fishing. And from there I met Steve, the motherlode kayak angler, almost 20 years ago. I want to say like 18, 19 years ago. And he's an avid fisherman. He's actually a bass fisherman. He was a tournament bass angler. He got me into bass fishing. I fished motherlode lakes and delta for bass for a while. And then I got into mountain stream fishing for trout. I did that for a while. I think it was like 10 years ago. My buddy mentioned about kayak fishing. So I watched some videos, people kayak fishing for bass and stuff, so I thought it was really cool. That's when I had a little boat. I think about 7 years ago, I was just watching YouTube, and then this video was recommended to me. And then I clicked on it, and this guy is kayak fishing out in the ocean. I was like, what? In the ocean? And he was catching lingcod and big rockfish and all that stuff. I was like so amazed. Water was pretty rough too, big swells and bumpy, and he's just on his kayak and catching all these fish. I was like, wow, and you can actually do this from a kayak? And turns out this guy was Loletta Eric. Some of you might know he's the kayak fishing guy up in Lost Coast, up in the Shelter way up there in Shelter Cove area. And he's the one who actually got me into kayak fishing. After watching his videos, and I did a lot of research, I found ncka.org. So I got a lot of information about kayaking. But my first kayak, I really enjoyed it, upgrade to hobby, because my first kayak was really not meant for the ocean. So yeah, from there, I just got hooked. I'm addicted to kayak fishing. I think, I tried on the boat, I've tried from the shore, I tried hiking up in the mountains, and I have to say kayak fishing is my absolute favorite type of fishing, even though every fishing is good. So, okay, moving on. Nick Fish asks, how much do you make from YouTube? Haha, how much do you make from YouTube? Actually, it's another person asked, Kevin. There you go. Kevin, and I think this is my buddy Kevin. Did the channel pay for the house? What camera and editing software do you use? So, Kevin, no, unfortunately not. I wish the channel did not pay for my house, not even close. But however, I do make a little bit of money from the advertisement, and which kind of covers the gas cost when I go fishing. And for the camera, I use GoPro Hero 5. I know it's the older version, but it still works great. I have no complaints, so I'm gonna keep using it until it doesn't work anymore. And editing software wise, I mostly use Movie Maker that comes with the older PC. I also have DaVinci, but it's a lot more complicated than Movie Maker, so I rarely use it, and I still need to learn how to use all the functions. Bob asked, are you married? And answer is yes, I've been happily married for last 19 years. I hope my wife doesn't watch this video. I've been married for a while, and I also have a teenage son. And Wes Lovelace asked, 1 or 2 door garage, on the water or off, in the birds or the country, mono or braid. So I have a 2-car garage with 1 door, and it's way off the water. I still have to drive a couple hours at least to get out to the ocean, but I have a lot of nearby lakes and streams. In the burbs, I love the country, but my wife wants the convenience of, like, shopping and stuff. So mono or braid, I'm gonna say both. I rarely use fluoro. I love the braid and mono. Pretty much all of my reel I use braid, and I top shot whether it's 5 feet to 20 feet or mono. John asked, do you ever fish freshwater for bass and pike? Yes, I do fish for bass. I love fishing for bass. I actually have a lot of videos of me fishing for bass. As far as a pike, no, because we don't have pike in California. I'll have to travel pretty good distance to find some pike. So, no pike yet, but I would love to catch a pike or 2, which is on my bucket list. Okay, White Bear asked, have you ever flipped over in the ocean? I have not flipped over while I was fishing. However, I flipped once when I was surf launching, and I flipped once when I was surf landing. White Bear also asked, how many great sharks have you seen? I personally have seen 0. However, when I was on the water, my buddies have seen great white sharks a lot of times. And actually one time I was fishing with TLA at Pacifica, and this drone was following TLA around. And so I thought he was filming TLA fishing. And it turns out, when we got back to the shore, the guy showed us a footage of great shark, which was a few feet away from TLA. On that day, he saw 7 different great white sharks in Pacifica alone. I think somebody else also asked about great white shark. So a couple of other people asked about the white sharks. Cast after cast asked, how do you feel about sharks in the water? And TBL asked, does it make you leery out on a kayak knowing there are great sharks swimming underneath you? If I say no, I'll be lying. So yes, it is a little scary knowing that there's apex predator underneath you. You can easily chop your leg off. However, statistically, great white attacking a kayaker happens rarely, really rarely. You might hear a kayaker getting bumped by great white shark maybe a couple times, handful of times a year, and actually getting attacked maybe once or twice a year along the whole California coast. You are more likely to suffer injuries from traffic accidents while you are driving to fishing spot. So they are out there. It's their home, it's their water. We are just happen to fish in their water. I think I missed a question here that Northwest asked. Northwest Open Season also asked, how long did it take you before you were comfortable out on the ocean? I wanna say at least a dozen times before I felt pretty comfortable. Even to this day, I cannot say I feel 100% comfortable. When the condition is nice, yes. When the condition gets a little rough, I don't feel 100% comfortable. Having a buddy on the water helps a lot, especially having a buddy who is experienced. I don't think you should get 100% completely comfortable out in the ocean, because a lot of things can happen out in the ocean. The condition can change just like that, which I have experienced before. So I'm gonna end the video here so it doesn't get too long and boring. So I just wanna say thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and go outside and enjoy the outdoors.